I almost forgot that. All right, so we're recording now. So welcome everybody to this call. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll go over a couple housekeeping items and we'll get right into the Q&A. All right. Okay. So a couple items to discuss real quick. Regarding questions, comments, accountability posts, you guys have been awesome. A lot of stuff coming in on the Facebook group, and that's fantastic. The comments on the member site have slowed down. We've noticed that, and sort of understandable because people are defaulting to Facebook, and that's fine. We just want to be able to give you as many options as possible to submit questions so that we can help you. Now, we are a little bit, Aaron's more on top of it than I am. I'm a little bit behind on responding to some of the Facebook questions and even a couple of the comments in the member site. My apologies for that. Trying to play a little bit of catch up, but I will get to every single thing, and then we're going to figure out a way going forward where we can be even more responsive, more rapidly, because we want to keep that engagement. It's so important because it maintains everyone's momentum. You know, Facebook is great, but it's organizationally challenging. And so I want to show you something real quick that I've started, and that's this. I'm just calling it noteworthy posts in the Facebook group. So when I come across a post that I think is important and reference worthy, I'm taking the permalink for it and just building out this document. And so what I'm going to do, it's probably this weekend, is go ahead and post this document in the Facebook group under the documents file, and I'll make a post and give instructions for how to access it. So if you're looking for, and I put each item by category, or there might be multiple items under the category. So we got Facebook check-ins, signage, technology, management, lead generation, power of referrals, offers, and that's just so far. There's going to be more because there's just some really good posts in there that are worth reviewing. So I'm building this out to hopefully overcome the issue with Facebook organization and to help you guys so there's more reference tools. Time management, want to talk about that real quick. You know, there's only a couple secrets that I know of when it comes to time management, things that are really helpful. And I know everybody's feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff. Aaron and I were just talking about this before the call, and you know, one of the, I guess the most important point I can make to you is that I know when you purchase some things from some people, they're maybe more like a promotion based, like, oh, here's a Facebook ad and here's a Facebook landing page and go ahead and implement that. And that's, you know, relatively quick and simple, and you get quick results from it, whether they're positive or negative. You're getting something, and that's kind of rewarding in and of itself. And with this, we're building a system into your business. And so it's more challenging. There's obviously a lot more that needs to be done, but it's also going to be ultimately substantially more rewarding. So just ask that you keep that in mind as we move forward. So in order to help with time management, biggest things I can advise, blocking time in your calendars. If you're not doing that already, just, you know, assigning a certain period of time when you're going to work on this each day, blocking that into your calendar, maintaining that calendar integrity. So if you block it out, that's what you're doing at that period of time. Using a timer. This is something I find very, very helpful for myself when I'm under the gun. Particularly if I have to do, you know, a specific task, I just set up a timer for 45 minutes and work nonstop as fast as I can for those 45 minutes. And usually when I do that, when I hold myself accountable to the timer, I get a lot more done. So that's helpful. And then, of course, delegation, something that we all need to work on and become better at, particularly as you grow your business, just so critical. To those notes regarding time management, we have front-loaded the referral challenge with the more urgent and timely stuff in order to sort of get you squared away for the new year in terms of the onboarding and some of the other things. As we progress, things will smooth out. In fact, what we're going to do is slow things down just a little bit. This Tuesday, we still got a decent amount of stuff to give you, good things to give you, but they will be more, well, here they are. For instance, we're going to give you the email SOP. We're going to give you the referral rewards SOP and the big picture SOP. So we backed off a little bit because we can see based on comments that people are getting a little overwhelmed, getting a little bogged down, and we don't want to pile on. So, but this in particular, these two pieces in particular will help you a great deal over the break in terms of just really getting clarity about the entire system and how all the pieces work, including the partner piece, which we're going to fit in after the break, and that's going to be very exciting. So that's what's coming. And we recognize how challenging this is, hang tough. It's just some notes about that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is relationships. You know, when properly nurtured, relationships evolve and improve over time, and that's why the consistency is so important. And really, consistency is the hallmark of exceptional businesses. Consistency on all fronts. The charitable relationships, a lot of questions have come up around the charity, and that's great. What I want to share with you real quick today is this. Ideally, you're not, you know, and Aaron made this point very well in a particular Facebook post earlier yesterday. The primary objective, of course, with partnering with a charity is to do good. And that should be your overriding reason for doing it. The secondary objective, however, is to grow reciprocity and to grow that relationship. And that's why I call it charitable partnering. Because you want to look at them as a partner and someone with whom you can grow and evolve. And maybe that reciprocity, it could take a lot of different, it could look a lot of different ways. It might be that they email for you on a regular basis, or they actively promote you in some way. It might just be that they introduce you to some influential people that can make a big difference in your business going forward. The point is that it is a relationship and should be treated as one. So it's not just about giving money and doing good. That's the number one objective, of course, but there is the secondary objective of developing that relationship. And that's why we push and encourage you to look at local charities. All right, so that's all I've got. Aaron, you want to add anything to any of those points or any other point before we go into questions?
Back to time management, the only comment I would have is there's no such thing. You can't manage time any more than you can manage the wind. And so it's an energy management. If you manage your energies, then you'll go a long way in becoming productive. So point is, find what's most important and apply your freshest energy to that.
Beautiful. All right, great. Okay, then let's do this. I showed you these, so what I'm going to do is change this back to stop share. All right. And just a reminder to everybody, I see we've got 4 of us with our videos on. You guys, those with you without your videos on, that's fine. You do what you want. I just want to make it clear, if you don't know how to turn your video on, you'll see in the bottom left-hand side of the Zoom screen, if you put your mouse cursor over the bottom left-hand side, a little area will pop up and it'll say Start Video, and you can do that. Hey, Wayne.
Yep.
So that's how to turn it on if you want to. If you want to keep it off, that's fine. It's your choice. All right. So let's do some Q&A. I'm going to unmute all, and hopefully background noise isn't too bad. Hey, Joseph. We will keep it unmuted, and we'll just do questions. All right. But, yeah. Okay. It seems sort of manageable. There's somebody we're getting a little bit of background noise from. But let's just try and let's see how it goes. If we need to mute again, then we will. All right. Questions, anybody? Anybody got a question for me? Yeah. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The background noise is probably here. I'm in a coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
I have a few questions. Trying to think of the best one to ask. I guess something that's been weighing on me a little bit is what you guys just spoke about. I always felt like I was pretty good at delegating, and I'm realizing now that I'm spending tons of time on things that I shouldn't be doing. Things like, I have 2 physical facilities, things like ordering products, stocking, keeping track of those kinds of things. I'm realizing I know I have to delegate it. It's more of an execution problem. It's not so much like I'm okay with giving that up. what are some tips on making that happen? Some things I already am aware of is I need to make that a job description or a key result area for somebody on my team. Obviously, make it a system of how it's done, and then just kind of guide them in doing that. I guess part of the reason why I do so much of it myself is probably because of our odd hours. Like at one of the facilities, I'm worried that if stuff gets delivered, we won't be there, and then it won't get delivered. At my other facility, stuff has gotten lost. So what I've been doing is I mostly do it on Amazon, have it come to my house, and then I'm distributing it to both facilities and keeping track. I know it's a bad system, so I'm just trying to figure out best practice on that.
Yeah, that system sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
I agree. Agreed.
Do you have an admin assistant or somebody who?
Yeah, I have an operations manager that actually lives in a different state, so she can't do like the physical stuff. However, I have a new hire who's a rock star. He has like a lot of aspirations to really move up. He's training now, and he's expressed very strongly he wants to do more. So I thought about sort of bringing him on as more of like that assistant role for me, even personal errands I would love some help with. So that's the kind of guy I was thinking of approaching with this.
I think that would be perfect. You just need to make it clear what his path forward is, so because you're going to be dumping a lot more work on him. So you want to make sure he has an understanding of where that's going to lead.
Sure. I was thinking of, tell me if this is right, thinking of presenting it to him. Like he's great. I think he'll be fine either way, but presenting it as, listen, you've expressed interest in learning more of the business side of things. This is some of the things that have to get done. So this would be a good responsibility for you now to learn how all this stuff works.
Without a doubt. And I would reinforce with him, if he might not be intimately aware of how successful you are and how rare it is for somebody in your situation, to be a successful entrepreneur for a series of years, in your case, quite a long period of time. That's a big deal. And it's not about blowing your own horn. It's just about letting him know he's got a rare opportunity to learn from somebody who's been there and done that. So you're framing it correctly, so he has the respect. All right, I'm going to go ahead. That's all right. Let me mute. I'm going to mute. Hold on. All right, Billy, you're unmuted. It just gets too difficult with the sound. So just make sure you frame it correctly with him. Have a good long discussion about it. What are your thoughts on incentivizing him monetarily or otherwise for this position?
So I just unmuted myself. Yeah, that's a good point that I hadn't thought of that. So right now he's just starting out. He's actually in his probation period still, so I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I know that he's going to be a good fit. He's at the 3-month mark. He was an intern for us for a while, so I have a relationship with him and his family. But as far as compensation, and there's supplements involved, like stocking supplements, ordering supplements. So there's a little bit to it. Right now, I just pay him per class that he trains and like front desk base pay. So right now, it's just a $10 an hour position for that stuff, for the desk, for the admin stuff. I definitely plan on bumping things up as time passes, doing like commission, sales commission and things like that, because he has an interest in sales. So I would love some thoughts on that.
So
he's a young guy, by the way. He's a young guy. He's like 22, fresh out of college. He's hungry. He's already showing his work ethic. He's already full time.
Okay, Aaron, you want to say something?
I was just going to jump in. This may be useful for everybody. When we had our Fitness Together franchise many years ago, when we were opening up a new location every 6 months, we had about 13 locations in the state. Well, you can imagine, the headache kind of growth creates, right? And so staffing, of course, becomes very important. So our solution became this. We found those that we thought were going to have a career in fitness. And then we created a producer to leader program, a 1-year program to bring these guys along quarter by quarter, 4 quarters in the year. So first quarter they had X amount of responsibilities, and then the second it increased it, and third, and then at the end of the fourth we had that moment where we sat down and we said, all right, what do you want to do with and now that you've gone through all this, you've got 3 pathways. You can open your own facility, right, under our name, and or become a franchisee. You can find, terms of financing, you can either find your own investor. B, we will find an investor for you. Or C, you can partner with us. Right? That's how we broke it down. That's how we grew, and that's how we grew so fast. So back to your point, Billy, I mean, if this guy has got a career desire, you might break down his admin role as the first quarter just be an admin and then grow it from there.
Yeah, I like the series of baby steps. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, and I know that producer to leader program in FT was very successful. I remember that. But what I'd like to do also is get input from some other folks. I see Tony's driving, but I'd definitely like to hear if he has something he wants to contribute, because he's managed a lot of people. Anybody else, Wayne, Joseph, anybody, Benny, any of you guys have any input for Billy on this particular question? If you do, just give me a hands up so I can see and I'll unmute you. All right.
I think Tony's frozen. His picture, I think, is frozen.
You're right. It is. Okay. So Billy, it's a you know, I think hopefully you feel like you've gotten something that you can start to work with on this. I think it's rare when you find people of really good talent. You want to? Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. Camelia's here hanging out next to me, so I would love to get her input on this, because this is like her AOE. One of many. So here's Camelia. You can't see her, but you'll hear her.
I'm right here behind the screen. Sorry, guys. Billy, there's a lot to your question, and it's not an easy answer. The first thing you want to make sure that you understand is, as Eric mentioned earlier and Aaron alluded to, is the progression of your trainer. You know, if you want support as an admin is somebody that's going to continually pretty much do admin work and grow with you and do more admin work and maybe turn into a marketing assistant. It's really going to depend on what you can leverage and delegate to them. A trainer is a trainer, and a trainer will grow into getting more clients, taking more time on the floor, training other trainers, becoming a lead trainer. And you don't want to have momentum of a trainer doing an admin position, and then all of a sudden you ramp up. You need them to pick up more hours, and you have to start the admin thing all over again. That's disruptive, and that eats at your time. So you're really not gaining anything by allowing or offering this to your trainer person, unless you're willing to understand that in the long run, or in the short term even, you're going to have to step back in as you ramp this guy up into a training mode. What I would suggest is doing a little bit of work on your part to understand what is it that you can delegate into an admin position. And what I think I heard you say your biggest issue might be is control. You're not willing or hesitant to give up control on some of the things because you just don't have the comfort level and that they're going to do it the way that you want to do it. And a lot of people have that issue. A lot of people worry, well, if I let them do it, are they going to do it as good as me? And of course, that goes into the training and the time you're going to spend with them, and you have to just give them a chance to fail in order to improve. Did you say Benny was on this call?
Yeah.
Yeah, Benny could probably speak to this if he is willing to. He's been through this. He understands the importance of having the admin on board and making sure that the right person is in place and allowing them to learn the position, make the mistakes, and move forward. But first of all, Billy, you got to make sure that, number one, do you want a trainer to be an admin partly, or do you want an admin to be with you forever, to grow with you and help you grow your business together? Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And let me just add this: that Camelia is an expert on this stuff, and that's great advice. What I would also add to it is that you, and this is hard to determine, and Tony's got his hand up, so we're going to hear from him next, because I want to hear what Tony has to say also. But one of the things you ought to also consider, Billy, is, and you said this guy's relatively new, 3 months in with you, so you have high hopes. He looks good and everything. I would suggest maybe easing into things. If you do decide, here's the thing: an entrepreneur has to wear a lot of hats. You got to juggle a lot of balls. There's a lot of things you got to do. Is this guy entrepreneurial material? If he is, he could potentially become a right-hand man type person, somebody who can do a lot of things and assist you in a lot of ways. But you have to temper that idea with what Camelia just told you about potentially screwing up, by trying to get a trainer to do administrative stuff as well. So it's tricky. But let's hear what Tony. I'm going to unmute Tony.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Tony. Go ahead.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, just a couple of things. I mean, everything you guys have said has been fantastic. The things that I would pitch in there is from a lot of things that we are hesitant to delegate, really, if we can find somebody that can do them 60 or 70% as good as we would, that's good enough. Because there are a lot of just those little task-oriented things that don't have to be exactly how we would do it, or even as good as we would do it. They just need to get done. And so that's one of the things I learned is, sometimes good enough is good enough. Another thing that I've learned that's really helpful to me is this is the quote I heard that kind of went along with it, but if you delegate tasks, you will develop followers. If you develop an outcome with some authority, you will develop leaders, which is really what you want. So if you can, start telling those people, hey, here's what I need to have happen, and give them a little bit of flexibility to create how it gets done, and they're rewarded and compensated by the efficiency and, the accuracy of how the things get done, too, that, they'll take a lot more ownership of the things that you're delegating, rather than you just saying, hey, I need you to do these 5 or 6 check marks in the box. So tell them the outcome you want and let them be creative, because sometimes you'll learn things that are better than how you were doing them.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, are we good on that one? Can we move on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate great insight from everybody. So thank you all. I like everything I heard. But I it through, and if my gut is right, and he is the kind of person that's going to receive a lot of value from really being my right hand guy, I think that's what I'm going to be thinking about. And I'll ease into it, like you guys said, and then talk about the outcomes.
Good. It's the trickiest thing. People handling people. It's hard. All right. Anybody else got a question or a comment? Yeah, Wayne, let me unmute you. Hang on just a second. All right, you are unmuted, Wayne.
Hey guys.
Hey.
We did a lot trying to implement the Facebook check-ins. I had the posters made that you guys put out.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you had to put on the walls, such as we love our members. We do our best to show it. We got that on the walls. That looks good. What we're finding out about the Facebook check-ins, when it comes to counting them, it's not as easy as we thought, and that I put on that post of just looking at the number. Because if the person's Facebook page, and I don't know it all now, I'm just telling you what I found out so far. If the person's post is not public, then I don't think it always gets counted, and you see it in the number that you see when you log on to where it says check-ins. So an extra step that we figured out that you have to do is you tell people how to check in, but then you also have to tell them to make that particular post alone public. And if it's made public, then all of a sudden it shows up on the count that we have. I don't think it makes a difference on being shown to their friends, but of course, if they make it public, it probably is going to get shown to more people on that end. But as far as us counting it, it needs, unless I'm friends with them already, I think sometimes we can see it then. But
I think that is the issue. I think that the reason you're not seeing it is because you're not friends with them. I could be wrong, but that is worth investigating, because ideally they do make it public because, as you said, it's going to get even broader exposure. But some people might be resistant to that. Like, I don't know that I want to, do this publicly. I don't know. So maybe the solution is making sure that they're friends with you. And that's why I think really you should be friending every single one of your clients. But I appreciate, that's awesome that you're sharing it. Are there other issues you're running into with Facebook check-ins?
There was one day I opened it up, and on the dashboard where you pull it down and it's got the reviews, checkbook or check-ins, and it has a number next to it. It had 20 plus. So it didn't have a definite number. It just had 20 plus. And then when I clicked it to go look at all the check-ins, it might have had the most recent one, and then it had one from before, and then it jumped back to one from like 2 weeks ago. So there's no particular rhyme or reason on how Facebook shows you to them. It's not as simply as opening up the list and going down and counting them. And I've had an admin person working on it, trying to figure out what she can find out. And she's the one that found out that it makes a difference if the post is public or not. So the only thing I can figure is I have a boot camp, and we have sessions in the morning and sessions in the evening. But right now, the best thing I can figure is to log in, or the admin log in after the boot camps and see what that number is. And that's the number that we're going off of for right now.
Interesting. All right. So here's what we'll do on our end is I will reach out to some people that I know who are very knowledgeable with Facebook stuff and see if I can get some definitive answers to this check-in issue, and see if we can't figure out a way to more systemize it, because that's the name of the game. We want everything to be as smooth and streamlined as possible. And, frankly, this gets back to the whole Sweat Angels dashboard thing. And that, so they solved the problem there clearly with that dashboard. Again, I don't know. Is it worth $139 a month? Maybe it is for some people. But, to me, it just seemed a little steep. Plus, you're limited by the number of check-ins you can have for that. But I'll look into this problem. We'll see if we can't figure out some solutions to it. And we'll get back to you, because I know Sean Eichhorn also made a post similar to this, Wayne, regarding the inability to count check-ins accurately. And so we'll get it figured out, or at least try and make things easier. So I appreciate you sharing it.
Yeah. Tony makes a text comment here that you can probably all see in the feed that, you just need to have your instructors mention that they have to make their feed public. All right, that might just solve the problem.
Right.
Okay, good. Well, then, there you go. And so if folks say, well, I'm uncomfortable making it public, then you can just say, that's fine, thank you anyway. Or, if you just want to keep it private, that's fine. But I would imagine most people are pretty easily influenced. And if you say, hey, just make it public, they're going to be like, sure, I'll make it public. So, you just deal with it that way, I think. But I will also, Wayne, look into it, as I said, and see if I can get some more information.
And we are having the instructors do that, and we do tell them that if you're marking the post public, that's the only thing that's public. You're not making everything else on your page public.
Yeah.
And also we make a point to tell people, probably not doing it when they're walking in the door, but probably in the parking lot before they leave, because especially a lot of women, you don't want to announce it on Facebook where you are right then. And I think most women probably do that already. Like if they leave a restaurant, then they check in instead of checking in while they're there. That's just kind of a safety thing.
Good point. That's a good point. And and I think you telling them that shows that, hey, we're looking out for you, kind of thing. And that's nice. Tony made a comment here too. He just said, make sure your check-ins count. And that is a great sort of call to action for folks, telling them, hey, just make it public, because that's how you can make it count, make it help other folks. So I think, there's going to be some little rough roads here and there, little things that we have to navigate, figure out. But it's just, I'm psyched that you guys are moving forward doing it. All right. Anything else, Wayne?
I'm good, thanks.
All right, man.
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, okay. All right. Who else? Benny's there. Any questions, Benny? Are you good?
I'm right now. We're just trying to figure out the charity portion. We're trying to catch up, trying to figure out which charity to pick. I know you said to pick one that's local, and that's a big thing for us because if I pick one that's in like Alexandria or Arlington, that's really not going to help us as far as like a business growth relationships. That's something great that you said.
I think you froze up on us, Ben. If you can hear me, go ahead. All right.
Oh, it's almost impossible for me to add all of my clients. So I think the public route is the best way to go because I have like 4,900 and something. I think Facebook only allows 5,000. So yeah, them just making it public probably makes it the best.
Yeah, it's tough being that popular, brother.
Sorry.
4,900. I don't think I've met that many people in my life. Yeah, you are. That's social media master right there. Yeah, so I hear you. Have you looked into charities right there in it is Woodbridge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, have you looked into that?
Yeah, they're kind of like limited, but we've been looking into them now. But yeah, I'm not sure if we'll have 5 options. We might have 1 or maybe two or 3 options.
Yeah, well, the other thing is by sending out that survey to your people, you might be surprised what they know that you're not able to find, with an internet search or whatever. So you can get some good feedback from them. But the other thing is, I don't know that necessarily, I know, in Washington, D.C. metropolitan area terms, Alexandria is a long ass way from Woodbridge, just time-wise, if you got to get on the Beltway or whatever. But geographically, it's not that far, and so there might be. It might work. I don't know. But I understand your dilemma.
Eric, let's address Keith's question that he's typed in there.
Okay. I would still love some clarity around how to make the onboarding process work. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I know, because I hadn't gotten to that yet. All right. So here's what I was thinking about. With your LBO, you're talking low barrier offer, right? Yeah. Okay. So your LBO, so the 14-day trial, what I would suggest is that here's the deal with the onboarding process, the welcome kit, and things like that. You're making an investment in these people by using those sequences and the welcome kit and stuff. There's a financial investment in those folks. So I don't know. Let me ask you this: what's your conversion rate from the LBO into full-time client? He's typing, so okay, about 70%. All right, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So so that changes my answer a little bit. You could. What I was going to say initially is if you were 50% or below, I would say wait until that 14-day period is over, or create a mini version where it's just a couple emails that go out to those folks during the 14 days. And I think that's always good. You're touching them, you're keeping them excited, you're giving them a little additional information. But then once you take them through the conversion process to become a full member, wow, something just happened there. Once you take them through the conversion and they become a full paying member, then you could initiate that full on. Because another question, after the LBO, do you sit them down and do a consultative sale to convert them, or how do you convert the client from LBO to full membership?
And moreover, as you're considering that question, do you, when you bring them in for the 14-day trial, do you try to upsell them on the spot, or do you wait for the 2 weeks to pass and then try, or sometime in between? When do you try to make the sale?
Okay, we have a conversation before the LBO ends. All right, so that's a conversation. So you're sitting them down. It's a consultative sale, even if it's a smaller one. Okay, so then you have a real good opportunity to do the entire onboarding process, the welcome kit, all that stuff. But let's get back to what Aaron said, because that's really an important point. And a lot of times folks miss this when they have front end offers. and we used to do a lot of this. If Tony, back in the day Tony developed the Kickstarter offer, which is was a great front end offer, and he used years ago in his business. And I forget, he had it priced at $197 or something like that. And folks would come in off of that marketing for the front end offer. And what you can do at that point is you've got two options. You can obviously sign them up for that front end offer. You can also you can say, well, you find out what their goals are. You take them through a mini consultative sale right then and there. And if their goals warrant it, then you sort of pitch them your full services. So it's not a bait and switch, because they have the opportunity to take advantage of that LBO, but you're giving them what is a more enhanced and ultimately better solution by becoming a full-time member right then and there. Is that something that you do, Keith? You do. Okay. All right. So we're getting, anyway, it's good stuff to discuss, but the short answer to your question is I would do one of two things. I would either build out a little small mini onboarding for your 14-day people, and then after that 14-day period, once you sell them in, then initiate your full-on onboarding sequences with them, give them the welcome kit and all that stuff. Either that, or because of your 70% conversion, which is good, you might just start everybody right off the bat, because then they're feeling like, wow, this is, really special. He's really going above and beyond for me. And the numbers would probably work for you, because it's not a significant investment in terms of the welcome kit. Really, that's it, and a few pieces of mail. So you kind of have to crunch your numbers a little bit there and consider it. But those are the options. Does that make sense? Food for thought. Yeah. Okay. All right, and just keep asking, because we can keep addressing this and talk and try and dial it in a little bit better for you. But ultimately, the answer is testing some things and seeing how they play out. All right, Aaron, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you want to say more about that?
No, I didn't. I was fine with it.
All right, cool. Okay, anybody else got something they want to? A question they want to ask, or an observation or comment? Joseph. All right, great. Let me hold on and I'll unmute you. All right, brother, go for
Hey, how's it going?
it. Hey, going good. Good to see you.
Yeah, and my question was kind of twofold. One was, I was wondering if you had a recommendation on a cost-efficient CRM, and the other half is I'm trying to make sure that I kind of have this understood right. It seems like we're kind of simultaneously doing a type program, and on the other side, we're kind of doing the charity event. So I just wanted to make sure we're running those simultaneously, and then I wanted to get advice on a good CRM, because I need one.
All right, repeat the part about what we're doing simultaneously. You broke up just for a second. I need to get clear on that.
Sure. On one burner, we have the referral type program that we're getting kind of in place, and then on the other end, we also have the charity type thing that we're setting in place. So we.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. So good question, and a good opportunity to hopefully everybody gain some clarity on this. So the way that the referral challenge is set up is that the charity is an integral piece of the referral challenge, and what you're doing is when you bring on when someone refers to you, that they have the option to receive a reward, which could be let's say $50 towards their membership fee, a credit of $50 towards their membership fee that you would give back to them, or just waive off of their fee, or they can donate that credit to charity. So that's part of that's built into the referral challenge. You can, of course, adjust that if you choose to, but most of the tools and things are built around that concept. So the charity is an integral part. And the reason for that is because it makes a lot of sense for you, and it differentiates your business. And hopefully it's something that you feel a strong desire to do. My experience working with charities in the past is that it was ultimately the most rewarding business experience I ever had, just knowing that I did something to help so many people in such a significant way, it's you know, that it's just tremendously rewarding. But there's also business benefits too, to that, and not the least of which could be potentially, and I'm just saying potentially because we're not lawyers or accountants, tax benefits. Of course, the opportunity to be introduced to other people through the charity, to really fully partner with that charity, as I discussed at the beginning of the call. So they go hand in hand, at the charity and the referral part. So it's not two different burners; it's really integrated. Does that make sense, Joseph? All right, great. Now,
Sure does.
all right. So to the CRM question, this is a big question, and it really depends on where you're at as a business. A lot of folks use Infusionsoft, which is a CRM plus automated email plus shopping cart plus about 16 other things. I think it slices and dices and makes your smoothies in the morning. You know, it'll do it all. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of Infusionsoft, just because I'm not a technology guy. I know people love it. Some people love it. That's on the high end. Your question was about CRM, and it has CRM functionality. Below that, the only other ones that I know below that are in terms of price point that have full CRM functionality is ActiveCampaign. That's an email marketer with a CRM. Now, some people have CRMs separate from their email marketing, and I think, what are examples of that? MindBody Online? What? I'll tell you what, Benny, I know you know this stuff. I'm going to get Benny to pipe in a little bit. And can you talk about what you use?
I currently use Infusionsoft. I hate it because I have to pay somebody to manage it. But I've tried a lot of different things. And honestly, like Camille, I'm sure Camille is close by. She'll tell you I've tried a lot of different things, and it just didn't give me the same value as Infusionsoft did. Yeah, it's just like that one king in the room, and everybody else is just kind of like, you know.
Yeah, so you hate it, but it does the job for you.
It more than does the job. I mean, but then when you talk about Infusionsoft, so then you have to add, I mean, there is some cost with it, right? So the base price is maybe like $199, and then if you want to add the merchant side to it, it's now $299, so a whole $100 jump, and then it just gets pricier after that. If you want to add more admins, it's another set of money for that, and so that's the downside to it. But there isn't anything really that I know of that I've tried, and we've tried a lot of things, Camille will tell you, and it just did not add up to what Infusionsoft can do from both.
Yeah.
How many clients do you have, Benny?
Right now, 106.
Wellness living.
Wellness living. I tried that. We switched over from MindBody, which was a pain in the butt. There's I mean, yeah, those are the really two, like ActiveCampaign is what you said. Of course, this is. Those are the only two that I can really think of.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let me ask this, Billy. Do you know? I know Pat Rigsby recommends. Is it MindBody, or is there somebody else that Pat recommends?
You might be thinking of Zen Planner.
Zen Planner, yes. Well, isn't that?
I don't think Zen Planner is a CRM though.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so it's just for like scheduling and things like that?
Scheduling, client management. It takes all your fees as far as, collecting payment, stuff like that. But
yeah, that's true. That's correct.
All right.
I think I guess Pat would recommend Zen Planner and Infusionsoft or something like that.
I see. All right. What do you use, Billy?
Oh, no, that can't be, because then there's still no scheduler. See, that's my issue is like I've talked to so many people and everybody recommends something different. I have MindBody, which I know a lot of people have left, and I part of me is just doesn't want to deal with the process of switching. So I have MindBody, which I use for billing and for scheduling, and I use Aweber for my emails marketing and all that. it works for us. I have a really good operations manager that's very good at it's probably not the best use of her time, but she's really good at switching people to different lists and all that stuff. So we couldn't justify the expense of Infusionsoft because she's so good at keeping track of all that, and we don't really need a lot of the features that they have. I don't think it'd be useful for us. So that's why I haven't switched to Infusionsoft. So I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I'm just kind of, I switched to Aweber. I'm very happy with Aweber from an email standpoint. For a low cost, high quality email service, we used to have Constant Contact, who was terrible.
No, I hate Constant Contact. Yeah. All right. Wayne, what do you use?
I just typed it in, Zen Planner and FitPro Connect.
Oh, okay. FitPro Connect. I'm not familiar with that.
It's a service from Bedros Keuilian.
Oh yeah, we don't recommend anything from Bedros Keuilian on this call. Yeah,
you just tell me what I use. Calm down.
No, it's not you, Wayne. And I as long as you're happy with it, that's great. It's just that dude, he and I like oil and water, man. Yeah, I'm not a fan. But anyway,
me and you are cool.
We're totally cool, brother. Totally cool. Keith, what do you use? It's coming. Just switch to Zen Planner. Okay. All right. Thumbs up on Zen Planner, Keith. Are you liking it so far? Yeah. Okay. All right. So here, let me ask you this, Joseph. What do you use for email marketing right now?
Well, see, that's the funny thing. A lot of the programs that everybody mentioned in there, I've done some of them, and it didn't like them either. And I had Aweber there for a while, and that was the thing. I think what we're looking for is just something low end that can
MailChimp.
These email sequences that we need to do that can just pump that out for us and make it easy and going forward. So we took a break from everything until we could find something better, friendlier.
Okay, well then I got it for you. I got it. If it's just email that you're looking for, email automation, list segmentation, things like that, the best one out there as far as I'm concerned is ConvertKit. Depending on the size of your list, you can get in for around $29 for your first 1,000. I think once you go over 1,000, it pumps up to $49, but still reasonable because it's as intuitive and easy, and it delivers. The deliverability is excellent. Everything about it, I've used just about everything out there. Everything about it kicks ass. I love it. Plus, the dude behind it, Nathan Barry, is super smart. He's just a marketing whiz kid, and he is a kid. It's ridiculous how successful this guy is at his age. And
I hate those guys.
And he shares a lot of best practices. Once he on his blog, you just read his blog, it's good stuff. But also when you subscribe, he hits you with stuff that's not promotional. It's just to educate you, and he should. I mean, it's just a real sharp dude. So ConvertKit, I love it a lot. Now, what you can do, you asked about CRM specifically, and so we were talking earlier, like Infusionsoft, a CRM is a customer relationship management tool. So it does a lot of stuff with your customers. Email marketing can be a function of your CRM, or it can be distinct from your CRM, but they still need to kind of communicate. Ideally, they need to communicate. And that's one of the benefits that Infusionsoft brought to the table is they had a full-blown CRM plus email marketing that communicated seamlessly and allowed you to integrate and to utilize a lot of different marketing time sequences and things like that. And it was breakthrough when it came out. It probably still is. I mean, I don't think as we've discussed here, nobody's really come out to match it just yet. But so here's what I would recommend to you is ConvertKit for your email, and then go to, just search it online, HubSpot free CRM. They have a kick-ass CRM that is 100% free on HubSpot. They're going to market the hell out of you, though. Those guys know how to sell, so they'll go after you. But but just to get that free CRM, it's worth it because that thing is awesome. Now, I don't know how well it integrates. It might not. So you might have to do a little workaround there, but at least you'll have a CRM for managing all your client data, which is so critical. And you can, copy and paste. And anyway, it's a starting point.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So does that help, Joseph?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's excellent. Thanks.
All right. You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else got a question, or did I miss anything in the chat? Have we missed anything, Aaron?
I don't think so. I believe we got it. Hang on.
Okay. These are just comments. All right. Okay.
What's the name of that thing again? Convert?
Oh, Convert Kit. One word, convert and then kit.com. It says email marketing for bloggers. I don't know why he does that. I guess blogging is his biggest niche. I mean, I guess that's what he sells into the most. And so, but it's email marketing for email marketers. Anybody who sends out emails wants to sell via email and educate and build relationships. It's awesome. I love it. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything? Okay. I think we've covered everything then. I will just say thank you all very much for being on the call. I appreciate it. And thanks for being a part of the referral challenge. Just can't say that enough. I know we're hitting you with a lot of stuff. I just want you to have faith, in Aaron and me, because we're good at this stuff, but also in the system, and hopefully it's starting to make sense. And once I get you that big picture document, you can really see how everything works together. Hopefully that will even solidify your belief even more, and just make you feel, peachy keen about the whole deal.
Yeah, before they run, let me ask: have any of you ever owned a franchise, a fitness franchise? Anybody?
Wayne?
That's what I currently have.
Okay, what is it?
Fit Body Boot Camp.
Oh, Fit Body. Okay.
Wayne, you're all in, brother. Okay. All right.
Hey, but I'm on this call with you.
You are, and don't get me wrong. I'm as easygoing a guy as there is. I got it was something that happened years ago. It's behind me. I don't hold any grudges. I just threw it out there. So we're good, brother.
Well, I can't speak to I can't speak to their infrastructure at all. But having come from a franchise and having helped build a franchise, I can tell you that there's nothing more comforting than a system. I mean, something that you can, when you have a problem or you have a question and you can go to that system and solve it, that's gold, right? And so that's what we're trying to put together here, so that we round off all the sharp corners and make it a smooth ride as best we can. Yeah. Amen.
All right, gang. Then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you very much, Keith. If you can figure out what the audio issue is, or if you got a question for me, just post it and we'll see if we can't. Because maybe it is something on the technology side. I'm not sure.
Hey, Eric, address Keith's question there at the bottom.
Oh, one final question. Do you guys feel this is a full system? Feel this is a full system like ITF? ITF being Iron Tribe?
No. Okay. Iron Tribe is a full system of everything from, how to build out a building, to finding your real estate agent, to locating a property, to having your equipment built. That's a completely different animal. Okay. This is a referral marketing system. Eric and I, we haven't had this conversation, but at some point in time, we might put something like that together. I'm not overcommitting you, buddy.
Yeah. I'm tired, man. Yeah.
This is a system inside of what Iron Tribe would be.
Yeah. Iron Tribe, that's a lot of pieces. They give you a lot of pieces. This is one of the pieces, but frankly, to be great at business, as I mentioned in that letter, there's really two things that you need. You need a training system to get results from your clients, and you need a marketing system to generate. And frankly, you need a third thing, and that's a sales system. You need to be able to sell. If you've got those three pieces, referral marketing, a great training system, and you're able to sell, the sky's the limit for you. It really is. So, so this is as big a piece as you will get in terms of client generation for your fitness business, as big a system as you'll get, and most effective system. Okay.
I'll just address one last thing. So, Keith, if you were to buy a franchise, right? And now I don't know, Wayne, if you did this or not, I would assume, but if you buy a franchise, then you go to franchise school. Wayne, did you do that? Did you go to franchise school?
They have it available. I didn't go.
Okay. Well, in the case of buying a franchise, you spend a week at franchise school learning everything from soup to nuts there. And then you come back and then you implement, right? So, we're just saving you the trip to us.
Yeah. Right. You save thousands. Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up then, guys. Unless there was another comment. Nope. Okay. Thank you all very much. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Facebook.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.